Hey everyone, and welcome back to yet another Poppy Playtime related video. In today's video, we will be kind of going over a theory, but not really, because in this video, we will be celebrating Marvel Entertainment's third anniversary for Poppy Playtime. So by the time we're recording this video, it's actually the 12th, and by the time I'm uploading this, it's probably like the 14th, I think. So huge shout out to Marvel Entertainment. I hope they're doing very good with their content. And hopefully I'll get chapter 4 sooner. But so in today's video, we're just pretty much just like talking about like what happened during all those times with chapter 1, 2, and 3, and possibly even 4. So we'll go over all that info in today's video. So anyway, let's get started with Poppy Playtime third anniversary video. So as most of us know by now, Poppy Playtime chapter 1 was first released October 12th, 2021. And now this is chapter 1 though, mind you, this is only chapter 1. So in chapter 1, we're just pretty much like going to the factory and all, just searching for our employees of what happened in the factory back then. And this was way before we knew about Mommy Longlegs, the Hour of Joy, Cat Up, anything like that. So in chapter 1, we'll just be pretty much like finding our employees, like what happened during the factory in that one incident day or whatever. But we come across a certain character in our adventure. It's the big blue menace himself, Huggy Wuggy. So Huggy Wuggy is the first actual like bigger body we come upon in chapter 1. And he comes alive later actually in our event chase. But after we turn on the power, he's gone. But we continue on our adventure, but then we get ambushed. Huggy Wuggy is alive, baby. He's coming to kill us. But we make a narrow escape through the fence, and we outrun our furry, blue, teeth menace. So there was running on the wall in chapter 1. We didn't know what that was. Maybe that was crafted corn, but who knows. Anyways, Huggy Wuggy descends into the further of the depths of the factory. We kill him in chapter 1, but then at the end, we come across a tape with a prototype. After listening to that disturbing tape, we come across the flower, which what the workers were talking about earlier. So, we make our way through the flower. We come across a room which is very odd, but you'll soon find out. We come across this very room. The thing that we unleashed was Poppy. Now, Poppy helps us in chapter 2, 3, and maybe 4. We'll see when the other trailers come out later in the future, but chapter 2 starts here. So, chapter 2 starts with us waking up, or whatever, hallucination or whatever. Poppy's gone. We make our way to Elliot's office, listening to a tape called Elliot Learning whatever. And we listen to the tape, as you can see. But the beginning of 19 something, but later we come across Poppy again helping us with the power in the storage area. I'm pretty sure what the area is called, but then after that we follow her through the vents, or whatever, trying to find her and trying to unravel all the secrets of this place. But later when we try and follow her again, she tried to trust us, but then she was about to say something, then she got snatched by Mommy Longlegs. We went in hot pursuit trying to get our friend back, or traitor I guess. Then after going a big downslide of Elliot's slide, we come across the game station. But before we reach there, we are coming to this very room, where we meet Mommy Longlegs. We see Poppy getting captured by Mommy Longlegs, or her holding her, I guess. And when we were told not to cheat, she says, you will be torn apart and eating your insides while you're still alive. Then we make our way to the game station. So, this way we meet Bunzo. We try and unravel all the secrets or whatever, but we're ambushed by Bunzo from the above. We go through the fence, but then he got attacked and killed, I'm guessing. Then we make our way to the warehouse area. And after that, we make our way to Waggle Wuggy, which is my favorite mini games in the game. Chapter 2. So we whack the mini Huggy Wuggies in their no throats. They're fine, by the way. After that, we make our way up the stairs of the factory. But really, we can just use our grab pack. But then, we come across another bigger body. But it's not Huggy, which we thought, but Kissy Missy. So as we all know, Kiss Missy did not work for the prototype, Or that's what we thought, till we see that in Chapter 3's final tape. But after that, we see PJ, which is another one of my favorite characters in the game. After we see PJ, we are running away from Mommy Longlegs, the hostile cannibal herself, Mommy Longlegs. We barely escape her grasp as we run through pipes, eventually into a grinding room, and we grind her up. Then after, we see a mysterious hand grab Mommy Longlegs and take her off. Then we return to Game Station afterwards, and we free Poppy, which is in a very mad state. After that, we get on the train, leave. Then who knew Poppy would betray us?
The path leading out seemed clear. And yet, something unforeseen happened.
You are perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry. I can't let you leave.
It has
After Poppy betrays us, we are stuck in the factory, but then the train goes too fast. We try and stop it, but it's too late for us. The train is starting to catch on fire. We crash. We lose our grab pack. After the train crashes, we pass out. When we wake up a second later, before we pass out again, we come across a sign saying plague here. And then we pass out again. Then Chapter 3 begins with us being carried by Catnap, one of the other bigger boys we come across later. He drops us into the sewer pipe, it looks like. Then we are actually dumped into a trash room. We narrowly escape, almost losing a finger. And then we come across a room. We pick up the phone and a frustrating ally. And then we make our way to the train station. Then the train is gone, pretty much. Then we make our way to the entrance of Playcare, I should say, the entrance. Then we go to Elliot's Express. Then we make our way towards Playcare. One of Playtime's most successful things, actually, I'm pretty sure. Then make our way into the dome and come across the area saying restricted access. We go into a room, which is known as the gas production zone. So in there, we try and shut off the power, or not shut off the power, my bad. I think we try and transfer the gas over to a different pipe. But then we press it, something happened. And then we continue our way through our Playcare with the power off, and make our way towards Home Sweet Home, which is where we encounter the red gas, which is what we've seen in the first teaser trailer for Chapter 3, actually, I think. Then, in the room, we come across Huggy Wuggy, who survived. Well, not really. He's in hallucination. We wake up after that hallucination. We wake up and get back to work. We get batteries plugged in. We meet a hostile teacher that's a cannibal. We get attacked by Kissy. Before all that happened, we come across Kissy and Poppy, which need our help in defeating the prototype, which we do gladly. But before we do see Kissy and Poppy, we are continuing our way through our Home Sweet Home, which is an area for kids, or used to be at least. The place is in shambles, and we have to figure out what happened that day. As we make our way through our Playcare, we come across a Bobby Bear Hug statue in Home Sweet Home, which seems to follow us, or us controlling it almost. But really, we're just trying to turn the power back on. During our adventure in Home Sweet Home, we come across a dead Catnap toy that falls through the ceiling. After we come across Kissy and Poppy, we have finally turned the power back on in Playcare. We are given a key to the schoolhouse, where a cannibal teacher resides in. Ollie tries to warn us about someone or something in the building, but is cut off by static, which we are now not going to be able to have help throughout the schoolhouse, but instead, a sort of ally helps us, or tries to at least. A cannibal teacher called Mr. Light interrupts the intercom, saying, "Don't go into the halls without a hall pass." We ignore her offer, however, about leaving and not going through the hall without a hall pass. We ignore that, however, but we continue throughout the schoolhouse. We still see Mr. Light walking throughout the schoolhouse if we continue throughout the events. We do see her cardboard cutout, though, as we make our way throughout the schoolhouse.
Did you know that there are 60,000 miles of blood vessels in the human body? For comparison, the Earth around the equator is almost 25,000 miles. The smallest bone in your body is the stapes in your ear. Still, damage it, and you risk losing your hearing. Human organs? Pay close attention in class.
Mr. Knight does tell us that she does have sisters, but we'll learn about them more later in the game. And our story throughout Chapter 3 continues. After turning the power back on, the cannibal herself, Mr. Light, crashes our success. We get to battle in a hurry, while the cannibalistic teacher is right on our trail. But if we don't pay attention to Mr. Light, it's a bad ending for our protagonist. As we outrun the cannibalistic teacher throughout the schoolhouse, we have made our way in a hallway that ends in a room, where we pull a lever and the cannibalistic teacher gets crushed, and she is announced dead for now. While we are in the caverns of Playcare, I should say, while we are exploring the caverns throughout Playcare, we go to the playhouse, we encounter Catnap and see him praying to a shrine. Now, we learn more about this prototype thing later throughout our story of Chapter 3. As we look more into that shrine of Catnap's, we can see that toys have been mauled to death and put on the shrine for Catnap to appreciate the one who saved him from death all those years ago. Now, Ollie tells us that Playhouse is a restricted area throughout Playcare, but it is our only way to continue our adventure. So we make our way to the Playhouse throughout the creepy caverns. And in here, we encounter the Wound Critters. But as we make our way throughout the Playhouse and Playcare, our situation begins to change rapidly as we try to find a way to escape the Playhouse and make it out alive without losing any mannequin parts. We come across more of the Wound Critters, but we have no idea of how they got in this state. As we finally lose those pests, we make our way to the Playhouse pool, where most of the kids were swimming. But as we make our way throughout the Playhouse area after the pool area, we make our way to the cage cells, where most of the bigger bodies were tortured. And we come across one ourselves, the tortured and sad Dog Day.
You're Pappy's angel. Come to save us. Nothing left to save. Not here. Bird Catnap's home, angel. Their home. A myriad pairs of eyes are on you now. Watching, waiting, hungry. They want nothing more than to crawl beneath your skin and eat away at you bit by little bit. Fill what feels empty inside themselves. That thing, Catnap, the prototype is his god, and this is what he does to heretics. These little toys follow Catnap to avoid that very fate, and in return, they are fed. We try to fight it, the prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters. Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. You and Poppy can fix this. End this madness. The torment. Oh no. Oh no. Leave me. Please. Just go. Run.
As as we listen to Dog Day's speech, we can see the heartbreaking moment where he gets controlled by the many smiling critters, which are the ones that probably fell off him after all those years of torment. And he mentions how he's the last of the smiling critters, which I highly doubt that. But let's continue our adventure. As we play a game of cat and mouse throughout the tunnels, throughout the playhouse area, we almost escape. Which we do escape. As we play Tunnel Chase with Dog Day, we come across the many smiling critters yet again. We nearly escape the playhouse with a controlled Dog Day on our hands. But we do come across Dog Day's cardboard cutout, however, and we know more about his Nora.
Dog Day says fetch.
As we come out of the playhouse unharmed, Ollie immediately calls us again. But after that, we make our way to the final area of Chapter 3. Now, Poppy and Ollie do help us in this situation, though. We're in the safe room. Who knew such a toy named Catnap could be such a danger when you're in a hallucination? His body transforms and shifts into something unthinkable. We hit the cat horribly as we try and escape his grasp. We check for hallucinations, but it's very possible in this area. We do end up hurting Catnap in the process, but as long as we're alive and not losing any fingers, we'll be alright. Catnap turned into something unthinkable as he was in his hallucination stage. Who knew such a toy named Catnap could possess such an incredible power? Anyways, we barely make it out alive as we try and figure out which one is not the real Catnap. We barely escape as we shock Catnap to death, literally. The prototype comes and kills Catnap, and he's taken. We make it out alive as we get the power back on in the gas production zone. We make it to the same room we saw in the beginning of Chapter 3, the room where it happens. But Poppy tells us that something happened on that one specific day. The hour of joy. Poppy briefly tells us of what she experienced throughout the Hour of Joy.
Senseless slaughter. That's all it really was.
But Poppy also tells us where the bodies are gone to.
They dragged those corpses down below where they'd never be found. And they ate the bodies to stay alive. Prototype has to die for this. For everything.
We make our way to a circle area, which is where Chapter 4 begins on our next adventure.
Just hold tight, okay? After you.
Kissy pulls the lever. But she is suddenly attacked by an unknown monster. And that is where our story of Poppy Playtime ends. For now.
Once we hit the ground, we need to be cautious. There's something... What's she doing? No! No! We're coming! Just hold on! Come on, go